How's it going, everyone? Today we have a slightly different video coming at you guys. We're going to be taking a look at the Year 6 Season 1 patch notes for both the live service and what's coming down the pipeline in the TTS. Just remember, the changes coming in the TTS patch notes are not set in stone. Alright, these are up in the air and proposed changes that may be coming out later on in Year 6. As always, enjoy the video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Alright, so here's what we got. We got the Year 6 Season 1 preseason designer notes. These were released today. So this is what's going to be in the game at the start of Year 6 Season 1. These are basically the live changes. The first thing that we got is the balancing matrix and top operator bands, win delta versus percentage. I'm not going to spend too much on this. Pay very close attention to that fucking 3%. Blackbeard pick right there once we get talking about it a little bit more. But that's all I'm going to spend with these. It's just, hey, this is what Ubisoft is doing. It's nothing special. And that's going to bring us into operator balancing. So we're going to kick this off with Cali, right? So apparently Cali's getting a buff. I didn't think she needed a buff with a fucking one-shot down but not out state fucking sniper rifle, but I guess that's what we're getting. Cali is increased her sniper, right, her primary weapon, the CSRX 300 damage from, or to, I should say, 127, right? So its baseline was 122, which was a one-shot body fucking down everybody, right? So it used to be a special weapon all on its own, and they reverted it from a special weapon into a normal weapon class, right? So they actually had the gun coded differently. And because they had it coded differently, it was a one-shot body down to every person in the game. Doesn't matter who you are. They changed it. It's now a normal gun that affects different things. And what they said, their whole reasoning, Ubisoft did not want a rifle that could down somebody or instantly kill somebody off a lucky wallbang, right? You just kind of pop off your shots and it's fucking, whatever. One shot body shot will kill a 3-speed operator, right? So that's 3 speed, 1 armor, right? One shot body, you're fucking dead. 2 body shots will DV down but not out a 2-speed op, right? And 2 body shots will down but not out a 1-speed operator, right? So at the higher the speed, the lower the armor, and vice versa, right? So the 2-2 operators, 2 body shots, the guy's gonna be down but not out. A 1-speed, 3 armor, 2 shots to the body, down but not out. But your 3-speed, 1 armors, it's going to be 1 body shot to DB&O. The population targeted by this change is the casual, top ranked, and pros. Our main objective with Cali is to make her a viable and balanced operator. In general, this requires us to strike the right balance between ability, right, which is her LV explosive lance, right, the little underbarrel grenade launcher that she got, and the loadout. For Cali in particular, this depends on 2 main elements. The first is that Cali brings a great amount of utility to the game. The LV explosive lance can deal with gadgets including bulletproof gadgets and ones behind electrified reinforcements. The second element is the CSRX 300, her actual sniper rifle. This primary weapon is in charge of most of her killing potential, and keeping this weapon in line is key to avoid an overpowered operator, right? So they're trying to balance the sniper and her gadget. Unsurprisingly, finding the right balance for a one-shot kill weapon can take a number of iterations. We noticed that on release. Cali was perceived as overpowered, but the power perception has been slowly dying towards underperforming. In the previous patch, we took our first step in finding the sweet spot for the sniper rifle. We have looked at your feedback and are making some new changes. What we've done so far. We started identifying the one-shot DB&O mechanic as one of the main issues. The mechanic was perceived as frustrating and it did not allow us to tweak the weapon's power level. So we decided to transform the CSRX 300 into a normal weapon. See, this is what I was talking about earlier, right? So what they did before is that they coded the weapon differently upon release so that it was a one-shot body to any operator. And then in a previous patch, they changed it to a normal weapon, actually gave it a damage value, and then jacked it. For example, now wearing Rook's armor plates can now help operators survive a body shot, right? So that's what I was actually looking for. It's like if I'm wearing a ceramic, like, bulletproof plate, Why can't I survive a Cali body shot? We also wanted to keep the damage modifiers caused by bullets getting through walls or hitting operators' limbs, as this helps to prevent lucky shots that can kill or put operators in a DBNO state. This also ensures good aim is rewarded. The first iteration set the damage to 122. With this value, we had a compromise where 3-speed operators would die from the chest shot and 1-speed operators would survive it. This compromise took into account that 1-speed operators do not represent a majority in a defensive lineup, especially in Pro League. This approach has been perceived as too weak, though, and we are making new changes to address that. What we are doing now. Our next step is to increase the weapon damage to make 1-speed operators fall into DBNO. Like last time, we will be monitoring your feedback and the game data to ensure we continue tracking forwards, finding that sweet spot for Cali. For some operators, balance is a process that takes iteration, so we appreciate the feedback and insight the community has shared here. So this is kind of them explaining what's happening with the operator, right? Gun too strong, gun too weak. That's what they don't want. Additional insight into Cali's interaction with Rook's armor plates. With the above change in mind, we want Rook's ability to be relevant against Cali's sniper rifle. We are not creating any specific rules for the interaction, but we want to clarify how Rook's armors work. When an operator is wearing Rook's armor plate, their armor gains an extra 15% protection. That means a 3-speed operator will have 15% damage reduction. A 2-speed operator will have 25% damage reduction, and a 1-speed operator will have a 35% damage reduction. Alright, so the baseline is 15%, and it's an additional 10% on top of that. This means that the new damage value, only 3-speed operators will fall into DBNO when receiving a CSRX 300 body shot. The rest of the 2 and 3-speed operators, that's a typo. I think they mean the rest of the 2 and 1-speed operators will survive the shot, right? So here's the value. I'm assuming how it works like this is that when you have the Rook Armor plate on, right? You're a 3-speed fast boy. You get shot in the chest, instead of dying instantaneously because you got your heart knocked out your spinal cord. You survive the shot, but the Rook Armor plate's gone. You're DBNO, right? So if somebody can fucking pick you up, great. If not, well, you're dead anyways. The 2-speed and 1-speed operators who get the extra armor values, I don't know how the 3-armor 1-speed operators work, but I think they can tank an extra shot. I know in the points above that they were talking about this a little bit, how a 3-speed 1-armor, I'm just going to call them by their armor values, how a 1-armor operator, 1 shot they die, a 2-armor operator, 2 shots they go DBNO, and a 3-armor operator will go 2 shots DBNO, and I think if they're wearing the Rook plates, all their values get bumped up by 1, except for the 2-speed op, or the 2-2 ops. 2-2 ops I think are unchanged. Now here's the one that I think is going to make a lot of people, well, is going to make some people salty, right? Blackbeard, nerfed again. How long has this dude been out, and he's still getting hit with fucking nerfs? Ubisoft made an operator that they should not have. Alright, that's all I'm saying. Blackbeard reduced the shield's HP to 20, down from 50, right? So now it's literally 1 PMM shot. That's I pull out the glass. Well, I guess it won't be glass. Capkin pulls out the PMM. Pop, pop. All right, 2 pops to the face. Blackbeard's dead. 2 shots before Blackbeard can do some things. Reduce the Mark 17 damage to 40, down from 49. That's gotta hurt. Population targeted by this change, everybody. According to the balancing matrix, Blackbeard continues to be a force to be reckoning with. Sporting the highest attacker win delta between the greatest utility afforded by his rifle shield and a loadout with strong damage capabilities that has earned him a high KD. He is a point of frustration for defenders. Not me, alright? Well, sometimes me. At the same time, I would also like a little bit more shot registration. You want to know how you counter fucking Blackbeard? You roll a fucking Mira with her fucking Vector, and you just fucking dump a whole mag into the fucking fat boy's chest. By reducing the HP of shields and damage of his Mark 17, this will slightly reduce both his killing potential and survivability. Given that the majority of the time Blackbeard ends matches with shield economy to spare, this change should be fair to both sides as it brings him more in line with other attackers, right? So basically he has two rifle shields. Both rifle shields have 50 HP a pop. I don't know what type of shield economy people are talking about, but it's either you use one rifle shield, have it popped, and you're immediately dead, or you fucking have one rifle shield on, get sprayed down by Mira because she's got a fucking Vector aimed at your fucking kneecap. She just walks them shots up to your fucking stomach, right? Your bacon-filled all-American stomach. And you have two shields as far as your shield economy goes. It's a fucking joke. Next one. I don't know if this is a nerf, a buff, or a rebalance, but they added the Gone 6 and removed the C75 from Dokkabi. Dokkabi added the Gone 6 and removed the C75. And they replaced her frag grenades with stun grenades. They keep on fucking with that slot so much, man. With Dokkabi, she had grenades, got rid of the grenades. Had the grenades, got rid of the grenades. Had stun grenades, got rid of the grenades. I think she had claymores at one point. Who the fuck runs claymores on Dokkabi? She's never on drone so much that she needs a claymore to protect her fucking sweet cherry pie. Anyways, population targeted by this, everybody. Casual, top-ranked pros. Dokkabi is the first of two operators who will be encountering a loadout shakeup this patch to make way for the newest gun in the Siege Armory. The Gun 6 will replace the C75 as her secondary weapon, providing highly accurate explosive utility for dealing with gadgets, abilities, and operators. As a result, her gadgets have also been tweaked to limit the number of explosives at her disposal. I had to pause and actually read that one out in my fucking head. Her gadget, I don't know how R6 defines what a gadget is, but her gadget is her fucking cell phone that she uses to fucking ring people up, right? Her utility is is two frag grenades, right? So they're getting rid of two fragmentation grenades for one mini Ash launcher, right? So they took Ash's gadget, her actual operator ability, right? They hit it with a little micro mini nerf hammer, and then they distributed it to all the other operators. And I don't know if that's like a mini nerf to Ash, like they're like, meh, you don't need this. But it's super weird how they're doing that. But I think they're doing it there's a lot of explosive damage coming in year 6. I think the next thing we're going to look at is the new operator and pretty much everything else that's coming out. It's no secret that Dokkabi has received a number of loadout changes in the past year. The initial intention for giving her frag grenades was to offer more utility against bulletproof devices rather than to increase killing potential. You gave the girl a grenade and you want me to use it on a fucking bulletproof cam? Get out of here with that bullshit. I am not using a frag grenade on a bulletproof cam. Oh my god. By switching to stun grenades, she will run this utility against bulletproof devices while also empowering her with a wider range of tools better to adapt her surroundings while disrupting defenders. I 100% thought that they were wanting me to use the stun grenade as a fucking bulletproof camera destroyer, and I was about ready to be like, I'm just gonna melee the shit. I don't give a fuck. How are you gonna say Dokkabi, the woman who can literally steal operator cams, right? You destroy bulletproof cams with these, right? For frag grenades, get out of here. That's I don't like that. Next up is Finka. Added the Gone 6 and removed her Gusher 18. I'm okay with this. I'm highly favored with the PMM. Highly favor the PMM. Added stun grenades and removed frag grenades, probably the same reason for fucking Dokkabi, I don't know. I used to play a shit ton of Finka when I actually started playing unranked and ranked game modes. Mainly because of her fucking frag grenades. You fucking hit the surge, fucking pull out your fucking PMM, hard breach through a fucking window, chuck both your grenades out, and then just fucking style on people. Like Dokkabi, Finka is also receiving an update to her loadout, gaining the Gon 6 secondary weapon and replacing her frag grenades with stun grenades. Right, so with Finka, I'm basically running the PMM like I always have, and her stun grenades. Thanks, Ubisoft. Given her strong wind delta compared to other attackers, on the balancing matrix, the slight reduction in AoE damage capabilities is not expected to have a significant effect on her performance, particularly now that she's able to accurately deny many defender tools with the Gon 6. I don't like the Gon 6, so you're not only going to rob me of a secondary weapon to help me in a gunfight, you're going to rob me of my killing potential with a frag grenade. I see what they're doing with the Gon 6, and I don't like it. They're trying to say that it's the next best thing, but you only get one shot at the Gon 6. Right? From what I've seen, it's always been you pull out the Gon 6, it says 1 out of 0, you shoot it, it says 0 out of 0, and your guy immediately swaps back to their primary weapon. I have only ever seen that used once. And it opens up like a fist-sized hole. Like, I might as well just come up and melee a fucking, kill hole, and then shoot through that. Okay? Or run a fucking shotgun. Like, I just don't understand. Oh, this one's gonna hurt. Next up, we have Mozzie. Mozzie. Warning. I think this is for his pest. Warning will hint at the distance to pests by modifying its blinking speed. So the faster it blinks, the closer you are to your pest, and once it latches on, sucks to suck. Population targeted by this change top, ranked, and pro. So they say the casual players can't fucking handle a flashing light in their face. In its current state, Mozzie's pest lacks clear counters and often forces attackers to waste time and resources in order to avoid or mitigate obvious traps. Well, don't throw your fucking drone into point, run, Twitch. There's counters. Mozzie counters Twitch, Twitch counters Mozzie. You know how many times playing Twitch I've destroyed a fucking Mozzie goddamn little spider just doing his little fucking spider shuffle right in the middle of the fucking walkway? In its current state, Mozzie's pest lacks clears counter. Oh, I already read that. Clear counters and often forces attackers to wait. The difficulty countering him has made Mozzie a particularly useful operator and has contributed to driving up his presence in the balancing matrix. That's what I hate about developers right now, is that they're so focused on key development points. They don't actually see how it's used. They just see data. They're like, huh, Mozzie's got a high pick rate. Yeah, you know who had a high pick rate before Mozzie was released back in fucking Operation Fuck Spiders? Fucking Mute, for the same goddamn reason. It denies fucking drones to point. By adding a proximity warning to pests, this provides attackers with a tool to more effectively avoid or deal with clearing traps. While this change will not fundamentally change Mozzie's moment-to-moment actions, it will encourage more creative placement of the pest to get the jump on attackers. Drone holes. There's literally nothing more creative than putting a fucking spider on a door frame or drone hole. It's a headache, Ubi. You're making you're perceiving a change or a problem, or making a change based on a perceived problem, when realistically, why wasn't that a thing in the first place? Next up is Nokk. While the hell presence reduction is activated, Nokk won't activate proximity-based gadgets. Outstanding. Gadgets affected is Ella's Gerdsmont Mine, Malusi's Banshee, Capkin's Entry Denial Device, Proximity Alarms, and the Metal Detectors. Fantastic, I'm okay with this. Nokk's glitch effect will cancel proximity immunity, resulting in the activation of any gadget in the range. Okay, again, Her glitch effect happens, oh shit, if I remember right, her glitch effect happens when she attacks or gets attacked, right? So if she fucking, like, gets shot at or shoots at someone, then I believe that's when the glitch effect happens. Could you imagine how fucked Nokk would be if she's standing underneath the Gerdsmot mind as she fucking shoots at someone, the Gerdsmot goes off and she's like, I can't see! It'd be hilarious. I'd laugh. The color of the Hell device on Nokk's hand will change color when bypassing any proximity device. Ah, so fuck the colorblind. I see how it is. Thanks, Ubisoft. Population targeted by this top ranked in pros. Yeah, because I don't see any Nokk mains. Like, I've never seen somebody other than Semi use Nokk in any of the matches that I've been playing. Nokk was initially designed as a counter-intel operator, but not every intel tool is a camera. Devices triggered by proximity gives very useful information as the activation sounds cue provides information without requiring players to lower their weapon. We want to make Nokk's gadget more interesting to play and useful against more defensive setups. Now, we'll get into this a little bit later, but please note this is going to be a test server only change, so I think we're going to see this again when we review the other set of patch notes. We will turn it off before releasing the new season to continue working on her. We have tested this change internally, and while we feel it adds an interesting dynamic to her play, there are still some unanswered questions. Therefore, we would like to hear your feedback and iterate before deploying this to the wider community. That's me. I'm the wider community. Next up is Twitch. Added smoke grenades and removed her stun grenades. Does not matter to me. I always run her stuns and I've never actually used them. Population targeted to this top ranked. So now my options, I think Breaching Charge is her other option. I used to run Breaching Charges, then I went to stuns, and now because of Aruni. Now it looks like I'm going to be using smoke grenades, or I'm going to make fucking Medic play Twitch while I do glass things behind him. Population targeted by this is top ranked. Twitch continues to have high presence in the balancing matrix. No shit, she's a 3-speed with a drone that can actually destroy Mozzie pests. You don't see the correlation between Twitch and Mozzie being high on... Okay, no, okay, whatever. This is due to part in her high killing potential and aggressive playstyle as a secondary entry fragger. Who the fuck? Secondary entry? She is... Ubisoft, what? I would not classify Twitch as a secondary entry fragger. Her F2 got nerfed to the point where a lot of people, myself included, started running her DMR because it was just an easier weapon to use. You want to tell me that you classify Twitch as a secondary entry fragger when her operator ability makes her vulnerable to anybody just kind of walking right next to her? My head hurts reading that sentence. Whatever. Going on. By replacing her stun grenades with smoke grenades, this removes one of the tools that empowers such aggressive play and opens up additional role opportunities for other players who would rather hang back and provide support. What do you mean? Okay. Hang back and play support like a Twitch is supposed to. We will continue to monitor how this affects her playstyle to ensure any changes retain the core of why players love Twitch. Because her drone has a fucking zappy thing that breaks shit! Fuck it. Next up, weapon balancing G36. Improved recoil. Population targeted by this casual, top-ranked pros. It is no secret that the G36 has been overshadowed by the R4C and ARX and is in need of a tweak in order to make it feel better to use while bringing it more in line with the effectiveness of its contemporaries. I'm sorry, not counterparts, even though it does kind of work. Contemporaries. This assault rifle's recoil has been updated because it bucked like a fucking mule. Players should notice an immediate change in its handling. Specifically, recoil will no longer drift horizontally, making it more reliable. Like anything related to the handling of weapons, though, it is important to note that we are continuing to look on how we can further improve the feel of different weapons in players' loadouts, right? I have never used the G36, like ever, because I never use Ash, I don't use fucking Ayana, I don't use Nomad. No, Nomad doesn't have it. Nomad has her fucking AK and the ARX, never mind. But yeah, I never use the G36 because I don't use those operators in particular that has it as part of their loadout. Like, I always run Glaz. If I'm not running Glaz, I'm running Finka because I'm partial to the Russians. Other changes: disabled state for electronic gadgets. With Year 6 Season 1, when a gadget is disabled by mute, there will be a proper feedback showcased to players. Expect feedback when the following gadgets are disabled while in play. We have attacker drones, breach charges, Habana's X Carios, whatever the fuck. Habana's fidget spinners, Fuse's cluster charge, Thermite's exothermic charge, Zero's Argus cameras. What the fuck? What? Claymores and air jabs? What? Oh, okay, I didn't realize that Claymores and air jabs were fucking disabled by mute. That's fucking weird. Oh, whatever. I guess the improper feedback was showing on those, but they fixed it. So good job, Ubisoft.